Alright everyone, welcome back to the channel. So, it looks like lengthening theory has been invalidated, at least for this cycle. Now, let's talk about what's going on in the video. Before I start this video, I do not believe the 4-year market cycle is going to play out forever. I do at some point believe lengthening cycles is going to play out, but looking at this data, it has not played out. Today, we have confirmed that we are in a bear market. It is not up for debate. It's mathematically proven if we come over to the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. Was this not our first bear market? Was this not our second bear market? And was this not our third bear market? They were. Would you agree with me? Okay. What do these all have in common? Well, on the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves, you can see this orange line at the bottom is the only line I'm going to be talking about. Now, this orange line says low dev, or low deviation rather. What that simply means is it's one deviation oversold from the average deviation of the price. So it basically just means it's oversold on this logarithmic growth curves. Now, what do we notice what happens when we come down to one deviation oversold? Well, you can see you have your bull market top, you come down, have a bear market, you perfectly backtest one deviation oversold. That is the confirmed bear market bottom. What happened the next time we came down to the low deviation? It was our second bear market, right? Just after the 2013 all-time high, $1,100, we came all the way down to the bear market low at $200-ish. And once again, we perfectly bottomed on one deviation oversold on the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. What happened the third time we came down from our bear market, from our bull market high in the end of 2017? We dropped from 19,000 all the way down to, we came down to 5,000 here, but we actually went as low as 3,200 in the first drop. What do all these bear markets have in common? Every single time we come down and we touch one deviation oversold. Here we actually broke below one deviation oversold. So why am I saying extended cycle theory is broken? It's been confirmed that it has not happened this cycle. Well, for the very simple reason, if we look at the data of what is going on right now, what is the price that one deviation oversold is coming in? You can see low dev there, 32,600. Well, technically today it's actually 32,670. You can see the price is just above it, but this is because it's only updated once a day. Look at the price, 32,670 is the bottom of the Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. What price are we right now as of the time of recording? We're at 30,752. Not only have we come down to the bottom logarithmic growth curve, but by time this updates tomorrow, you'll actually see that we've broken through the bottom of it. So extended cycle theory has been confirmed to be invalidated. We are in a confirmed bear market at this moment in time. I'm just saying, you know, I'm reading the data. This is from a mathematical perspective. You can't argue against mathematics. I mean, from an emotional perspective, you might be able to argue, you know, we're still making a higher low, but this is a mathematical chart. You know, every time we have a bear market, was this not a bear market? Was this not a bear market? Was the drop in 2017 not a bear market? Well, if those were all bear markets, then this ticks all of those check marks. We've dropped, you know, already well over 50% from the all-time high, and we're down here. We're at the bottom logarithmic growth curve. I'm a big Bitcoin bull in the long term. I'm a huge fan of Bitcoin. I love Bitcoin, but that doesn't take away from the fact that I'm looking at the data objectively, and the bull market's ended. We are now in a confirmed bear market. Do I think this is going to be a 4-year bear market? Absolutely not. In fact, if anything, I think we're right at the bottom at this moment in time. I'll show you what I mean. In every bear market, we come down and we make this low, and then what happens for the next year? We chop sideways. That's all we do for the next year. We go up in price, but we chop sideways. Here you can see we found a bottom at $234 and we chop sideways. You know, a little bit later we were at $1,000, but we were still chopping around in the bottom of this chart. What happened here? We came right down to $3,000 in December, and we chopped around for another whole year And sure, we came back down. We came down to $5,000, but what do you notice? This was a higher low. We were chopping around in this bear market territory, but we had already found our bottom. What do I think is happening right now? I think we're setting up to fill that bottom. If we come over to this Bitcoin chart, you can see Bitcoin has clearly broken this huge macro trend line. In my opinion, it is coming down to 29,000. Like I said, I'm just looking at the data objectively. If you agree that all of these bear markets were bear markets, then from a mathematical perspective, you would have to agree that this is a bear market. Otherwise, you're either using your emotions to tell you otherwise, or you're cherry picking the data. I hope you're not doing either of those things, because like I said, looking at this from a completely robotic mathematical perspective, not bringing my emotions into this, then it's in a bear market. I mean, I hate to say it, I love Bitcoin. I'm a crypto YouTuber. Don't you think I'd love to be in a bull market more than anyone? But unfortunately, looking at the data, we're not in a bull market. We've broken into a bear market, so it really sucks. Why has extended cycle theory failed again? Well, first of all, a lot of people really like, I've heard this recently, a lot of people like drawing the cycles from the lows. That's how they measure the cycles. I find that really weird. Let me know how you think you would do it, but I draw it from the peaks. I mean, that's what makes sense to me. I don't really care about when the lows came in, but what you actually notice is obviously we have not got a confirmed low in right now at this moment in time, but even if we did, the lows would have extended by a couple of days or so. However, I mark extended cycle theory from peak to peak. I think that's how most people do it as well. I don't think most people are that bothered about the bear market lows, because most people leave at that period of time. I think most people are interested in the bull market peaks. And what do you notice? The first cycle, this was very short-lived. I call this a bear market. This is, in my opinion, a bear market. You know, it took a very sizable amount of time. It took 2 years, almost 2 years actually. I mean, it was like 13, or sorry, no, not 13. It was 23 months. 23 months. This was in April. This was in May. So yeah, I mean, this was literally 23 months. And as you can see, 129 days here. The next cycle was 210 days. So if we were going to have an extended cycle theory was going to play out, we would at least need to have 211 days until the peak. But we don't. We have 204 days. So not only is it confirmed that we're in a bear market, it is also confirmed that at least in the short term, extended cycle theory has not played out. Like I said, I'm looking at this data very mathematically. From an emotional perspective, I absolutely love Bitcoin. I always think it's going to do well. Even from a mathematical perspective, you just look at these Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. I mean, are you really that freaked out or worried about the price? This is the most bullish chart of all time. Don't get me wrong, I love Bitcoin. This is a great chart, but in the very short term, we're looking bearish. And that's the ironic thing. In the very short term, Bitcoin is literally still at higher levels than it was down here, but we're obviously in a bear market. The logarithmic growth curves say so. I don't think there's any way you can fight this. So I hope you found value in this video. I'm making a lot more of these macro videos. These are the videos that I really enjoy doing, where I not only, what I love doing is, when I have a chart that I've looked at for too long, I think this was our original Bitcoin chart right here. When you look at a chart for too long and you look at it in one perspective, it's really hard to know, you know, what's going on from every market perspective. So what I love doing is making these videos where I just load up a new Bitcoin chart, you know, I click remove all drawings, I reset everything, and then, you know, we just do a deep dive. We make a theory, we make a hypothesis, we explore these different trend lines, we explore these different theories like extended market cycle theories, Bitcoin logarithmic growth curves. I'm having a lot of fun on my channel recently making these type of Bitcoin videos. I hope you're enjoying them as well. If you are enjoying them, please let me know. Leave a like and a comment down below. That is really all I ask for. As always, not financial advice. Cowboy out. Most importantly, peace.